folks, here we are, 6 days away for you, 7 days away for us, as of the time of recording, to WrestleMania / WrestleCon weekend.
/ all the wrestling you could possibly want in an entire weekend.
Where it's like, how can we shove as much wrestling into one place as possible? There's more wrestling than there is shoved in Louisiana, the New Orleans greater area.
Kenner, a lot of Kenner.
Than like if Willie Mack was trying to wear like small pantyhose.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Let's stop with that imagery. Let's talk about what's actually going to happen because we got a lot to say.
Yeah, but first, results.
Yes.
Because on Saturday, this past weekend, we had AAW's Path of Redemption and Chikara's Young Lions Cup Stage 2. So at Path of Redemption, June Tai defeated Andy Dalton. Scarlett Bordeaux defeated Kylie Ray. AR Fox and Myron Reed defeated Trey Miguel and Stephen Wolf.
Yes.
Jimmy Jacobs lost to Eddie Kingston. It's good to say that Eddie Kingston had a win because he loses a lot over there. Jessica Havoc retained her women's championship from Ivelisse. Trevor Lee retained the Heritage title from Moose and Shane Strickland.
That was probably a really good match.
Yeah. The Besties defended the tag titles from Something Stallion. Paco won the Heritage Rumble, which kind of surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, good for you.
And he eliminated MJF last. And like I feel like MJF was one of those guys who was getting like super pushed everywhere, and then all of a sudden now he's just kind of plateaued a little bit. That's okay. Happens to a lot of people. And then ACH successfully defended the championship against Keith Lee.
Go ACH!
Yeah, that's a tough one. And at the Chikara's Young Lions Cup, Stage 2...
I mean, go ACH.
I see what you did there. And I mean, from the Wrestle Factory, it was...
Chikara!
Young Lions Cup Stage 2, where Los Ice Creams defeated the Novu Aesthetic with El Asesino to become a new team into the Tag World Grand Prix this year.
Blank didn't like that very much.
No, Blank then defeated the Proletariat Boar by nefarious means.
Of course.
The Creatures of the Deep, Oceania and Murloc, teamed with Crummels and Defarge to defeat the Rumblebees and Green Ant and Thief Ant, and a bit of a preview for the Tag World Grand Prix.
And an interesting note, I don't know if there was a backstage segment that I'm not aware of, but Worker Ant also said that he was on his way back to Chikara, so he may be joining up with Green Ant and Thief Ant. We have a brand new colony.
Maybe. That'd be cool. We got Fire Ant still around somewhere, too.
Yeah, he's hiding in there.
Juan Francisco de Coronado successfully defended the Grand Championship from your boy Ophidian.
Mm-hmm.
The Cyberhawks defeated Anthony Green and DL Hurst. Now they're the second pair of the Cyberhawks to have 2 points towards contention.
Yeah, Razorhawk is securing a tag title shot at all costs.
Yeah. The Throwbacks defeated Hollow Wicked and Frightmare to become the last team entered in this year's Tag World Grand Prix.
And potentially the first team to win it twice.
Yeah. Cam Zagami defeated Omari to become the new Young Lions Cup champion. Congratulations.
Then he talked some crap about Chikara.
A little bit.
Not nice.
And in the encore match, Officer Warren Barksdale defeated Rory Gulak, taking Rory Gulak's 2 points away.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens.
And you.
Yes. So, starting on my side of results, we have ROH TV, where we opened up with the Champions Challenge match, which was the Briscoes defeating Kenny King and Dalton Castle in tag team action due to a distraction from Silas Young, because Kenny King and him don't like each other. Cheeseburger went against Kikutaro in a hilarious match that was then ruined after the dogs decided to attack them both.
Ooh.
Sumi Sakai advanced over Kagetsu to go to the semifinals to face Tennille Dashwood at Supercard of Honor. And on the other side, Mayu Iwatani defeated Deonna Purrazzo, and she will face Kelly Klein in the other semifinals match.
Goodness.
Deonna Purrazzo versus Mayu Iwatani. Mayu Iwatani is a fantastic wrestler. That's 2 matches in a row that I've seen of her, and she is fantastic.
I kind of want to see Kelly Klein versus Tennille Dashwood in the finals.
It might happen. We'll talk about that in upcoming shows. And that was our main event match, but we had a promo between Cody and Kenny, both of them talking about the issues, what happened at the 16th anniversary and leading up to their match at Supercard. I took one quote from this because Cody knows how to throw him around. He was saying, "Oh, Kenny calls himself this. Kenny says this. Kenny blah blah blah. Kenny claims I'm a reject from my former company, while he's a reject from its developmental system." Ouch, Cody. And then Kenny came out and made jokes about the fact that when Brandy kissed him, it probably wasn't the first time Brandy has kissed another man within the marriage of her and Cody. So yeah, things didn't turn out very well. Young Bucks.
That's very personal.
Young Bucks, Paige, Skrull all came out, tried to break things up. It was a little
tense.
Yeah, that's a good word. But then on the Japan side, it's interesting that these shows happen within hours of each other. But the Young Bucks were in Japan. And this is Sakura
the
Genesis.
magic of pre-recording Ring of Honor.
Sakura Genesis in Tokyo, Japan.
Big blimp.
No. Young Bucks defeated Bullet Club members Chase Owens and Yujiro Takahashi. Tomohiro Ishii and Toriano
My boy Chase Owens.
Yeah, your boy Chase Owens. Tomohiro Ishii and Toriano defeated Taichi and Takashi Iizuka. We had Bullet Club's Bad Luck Fale and the Gorillas of Destiny defeat Reisuke Taguchi, Michael Elgin, and Togi Makabe. David Finlay, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Juice Robinson defeated Hiroki Goto, Jay White, and Yoshihashi. The Killer Elite Squad and Minoru Suzuki defeated Los Ingobernables members Evil, Sonata, and Tetsuya Naito. Then we had El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru retain the tag titles against Los Ingobernables and Roppongi 3K. Will Ospreay, despite fucking himself up, which we'll talk about in a second, retained the Junior Heavyweight Championship from Marty Scurll. Cody Rhodes and Hangman Page defeated the Golden Lovers. And then in the main event, Kazuchika Okada retained the IWGP Heavyweight Championship against Zack Sabre Jr.
Take that.
Yeah.
Other people who were not on that show.
Yeah. That being said, that is it for results. We have some news. I'll go. Do you want to go into yours first?
I'll go to mine first.
Okay. This will actually work out pretty perfect.
Yeah, this is an interesting thing, and I know a lot of other people have already covered it.
Yeah, we're not the first to cover it.
We're gonna say it's gonna sound like a little bit of a broken record. The Louisiana Boxing and Wrestling Commission, or whatever they are. Yeah, State of Louisiana and their Boxing and Wrestling Commission.
Oh, just boxing and wrestling. Okay.
The number of rules and regulations concerning pro wrestling. Moves that cannot be done. So it's
a lot.
Banned moves, and this is not the entire list. This is just the ones that struck out as there are a lot of shows happening over the weekend in New Orleans, and it's very nearby proximity cities that would predominantly feature if not all of these at every show.
All of these moves.
So the first one is, and this is probably the easiest to understand, is all variations of the pile driver.
Yes. That's been an issue for a while.
Yeah, and there's a move banned by the state commission, the Boxing and Wrestling Commission prior. And the reason why this one is the one that a lot of people think is going to be the most heavily enforced is that somebody did it on a show in the 90s, and because apparently the wrestler who got injured sued the Boxing and Wrestling Commission for not enforcing their rules.
Yeah, that'll do it. Somebody ruin it for everybody else.
But then on top of that, we've got all variations of the power bomb, the moonsault, shooting star press, or 450 splash, the flipping, rotating moves from the top rope thereof. And then there's a little caveat that goes with it, is that which involves one wrestler leaping or flipping off the ropes or turnbuckles to contact with the head or neck of the opponent's body.
So that's like blockbusters.
Any his or her person in the body. So it's just any... I mean, this one's going to be an easy way to get around because don't hit the person in the head or neck.
A lot of crossbodies.
Yeah.
A lot of drop kicks.
I mean, I guess, moonsaults, shooting stars, 450s, you can do a lot of those without hitting the head or neck. It's just being careful.
Huh. Interesting.
Any stun gun or hot shot or variety of that said move, which is just anything where somebody's dropped, faced, or head or neck first on the top turnbuckle or top rope.
Yeah.
striking of any wrestler's head with any object.
You shouldn't do that anyway. Don't do that.
And no wrestler shall throw, push, shove, or force another wrestler out of the ring or over the top rope.
So no battle royals at all.
Clusterfucks are fine.
Joe Janela's just going to change how that works.
I don't know.
Yeah. So the most interesting and unfortunate part of this is only indie shows are being targeted for this because of TV deals and because of how long they've been around. Both WWE and Ring of Honor are excluded from the list of people that are not allowed to do these.
Yeah.
So all those moves you will see at WrestleMania, you'll see at Supercard of Honor
and Takeover,
but not at Joey Janela's Spring Break or Welcome to the Combat Zone or
there is a
here.
little shelf thing, a little sidebar that I haven't heard many people talk about yet.
Okay.
And it's that the commission officials, which will be one of whom needs to be or should be per their rules on site for every single show this weekend, can determine if someone is a well-trained wrestler and can perform said moves.
Okay.
But then they asked for a comment on how can they determine if somebody is a well-trained wrestler, and they got no response back from the commission.
I would imagine if you have like a well-functioning school, or if you have proof of being trained by a certain maybe former WWE, WCW wrestler, potentially you have the ability to get away with it. Yeah, it's very... State athletic commissions are tricky.
Yeah, and then just on top of that, you got to think it's such a big, important weekend for a lot of these promotions, because most of these promotions don't operate outside of a particular small area, except for WrestleMania weekend. So how many wrestlers are just going to say fuck it and do the move regardless?
Yeah, I mean, Progress has a show there, and it's like, oh, God forbid we can't go back to New Orleans.
Yeah,
like, they're gonna do a show. And then they're gonna go back. They're gonna go back to the UK. So they're ones that might not get affected by it. So, but we will see. But the funny thing about those banned moves, this wasn't on the list. I mean, it might be on the list. A little move called the Spanish Fly.
Yeah, I mean that might be considered a off the ropes
moonsault
flipping move. Yeah,
it technically is a shooting star with a moonsault.
Moonsault and senton.
It's an interesting thing. It's also what potentially took Will Ospreay out of every match that he was potentially going to have on WrestleMania weekend, because during his match against Marty Scurll at Sakura Genesis, he tried to do a Spanish Fly. If you go to the Wrestling Rundown Facebook, which you can find the link down in the description, there is a video from New Japan, or from a New Japan Facebook page, where Marty Scurll cleared the apron, but Will Ospreay did not, and his whole head and neck region was just crunched right on the edge of the apron, busted the side of his head open, and Will Ospreay is really fucked up right now. So there's a good chance that with less than a week, I mean, some of these shows are happening on Thursday, so with like 3 days before these shows start happening, Will Ospreay is not going to be cleared to wrestle.
Yeah.
And if he's smart, which, he's young, he can be stupid, but yeah, he should probably take the week off. But hey, do what you're gonna do, Will. I support you either way. And then speaking of Will Ospreay, one of his favorite people in the world, Vader, who just had heart surgery.
They're friends now.
They're all right. Will Ospreay told stories on Jericho's podcast about that whole situation. Vader, who just had heart surgery, just about a week out from surgery, said to be in a lot of pain, but he went on Twitter and said he's being taken very good care of at the hospital, and it looks like he's doing good, and he's just thankful to still be alive. So, get well soon, Vader.
Vader for Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Like
mystery induction.
First ever mystery induction. Do it. But with that being said, it's time for a whole lot of upcoming shows. There's a lot.
There is a whole lot.
We're going to say it right now before the outro. If you want full cards of most of these shows and more, go to the links in the description. There are more links added. I'm going to add WrestleCon.com in there. There's a few other places you need to go that we're going to talk about. They're down there. If you want more information, check out those sites.
Yeah, because this is going to be the condensed version.
Very condensed
of the weekend. Shows start on Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and do my best to go in order. Thursday at 3 p.m. Matt Riddle presents Matt Riddle's Bloodsport.
Yes.
Matt Riddle doing his own show. This is cool. A lot of wrestlers doing their own shows.
Yeah, and and Matt Riddle's whole thing is like professional wrestlers versus MMA fighters, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so on that show, there's going to be Masada versus Martin Stone, Eddie Kingston versus Tracy Williams. We're going to have Chris Dickinson versus Dan Severn, and Matt Riddle versus Low Key.
Yeah.
At 8 o'clock, Evolve 102 is going to happen with AR Fox with potential versus Will Ospreay potentially. Daisuke Sekimoto and Munenori Sawa versus Timothy Thatcher and Walter. A 4-way tag team match for the tag titles. One fall to a finish, no tags necessary.
Scramble match.
Doom Patrol versus The End versus Drake and Henry versus Williams and Guarini. And Matt Riddle versus Zack Sabre Jr. for the Evolve Championship.
Yes.
9:30, the WrestleCon Super Show is going to happen. The match that I want to see from that is going to be Tomohiro Ishii versus Jeff Cobb.
Yes.
And then at 11:55 p.m., it's the Beyond and WWR joint show Lit Up.
Yeah, intergender matches.
All the intergender matches with Team Pog versus EYFBO.
Go LaFista.
A.K.A. LAX, whatever they want to be called.
Go LaFista.
Mia Yim versus Tessa Blanchard versus Wheeler Yuta versus MJF.
Hell yeah.
Jimmy Havoc versus Jessica Havoc. And Tony Storm versus Timothy Thatcher.
Yeah.
On Friday, at 4 p.m., Rev Pro's got a show going on where we're going to have Zack Sabre Jr. defending the Rev Pro Championship against Tomohiro Ishii. Jeff Cobb versus Minoru Suzuki.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's heavy hitting.
Kota Ibushi, Shane Strickland, and Flip Gordon versus Chuck Taylor, Rocky Romero, and potentially Will Ospreay. That would be a potential weekend stealer.
Oh, absolutely.
And then Evolve 103 is happening at some point after that with Darby Allin versus Walter, AR Fox versus DJZ versus Jason Kincaid versus Tracy Williams, and Matt Riddle versus Daisuke fucking Sekimoto. Sorry, it's going to happen a lot.
Yeah.
Not really. One more time, maybe. And then at 8 p.m., WWN's Super Show Mercury Rising with the WWN Live Championship on the line where Keith Lee defends against Daisuke fucking Sekimoto if he happens to be the champion. If not, the match is still going to happen, though.
Yeah.
Same thing with Zack Sabre Jr. versus Munenori Sawa. If Sabre's not the champion, he's still going to fight Sawa.
Yeah.
LuFisto is going to defend the Women's Championship, the Shine Championship.
Yep, Shine Championship.
Versus Holly Dead.
Go LuFisto.
And potentially we'll have Matt Whittle
Matt Whittle
versus Will
King
Ospreay.
of Blows, Matt Whittle.
God, I want him to talk like that now. Okay, and then, the show that's becoming one of the most highly anticipated shows of the year at 11:55 p.m., Joey Janela's Spring Break 2. Where we've got a lot of big names showing up for this one. Not only do we have the match that took everybody by surprise last year, which was Joey Janela's Spring Break Clusterfuck.
Is Matt Whittle gonna be in
probably
Joey Janela's Spring Break with Matt Whittle and what did you just say?
I got Clusterfuck. Because we're gonna have Walter versus PCO. We're gonna have David Starr versus Mike Quackenbush. Nick Gage versus Penta El Cero Miedo. Matt Riddle versus James Ellsworth.
Yeah.
That was a great reveal. And Joey Janela himself versus the great Sasuke.
Japan is invading WrestleMania weekend this week.
And that's fantastic. For Friday shows. I know you've got a Friday show.
We do have somewhere in the chaos of all those shows, also at WrestleCon, which is something we mentioned when it was first announced, will be Impact versus Lucha Underground. You know we love Lucha Underground. Impact, give or take. We were making fun of it, but there's some pretty good matches going on here. So we have Allie from Impact defending the Knockouts Championship against Taya Valkyrie. We've got another singles match. Huge implications here because of the situation going on right now. Impact, being represented by Eddie Edwards, will go against Jeremiah Crane in an I Quit match. 6-man tag, Atomicos, whatever you want to call it. Impact's Desmond Xavier, Andrew Everett, and DJ Z take on King Cuerno, Aerostar, and Drago. Tag team match, LAX, Santana and Ortiz take on Killshot and the Mac. And then in the main event, a mixed tag match where an Impact star will team with a Lucha Underground star. We have Alberto El Patron and Pentagon Jr. taking on Austin Aries and Phoenix.
Wow.
Holy shit.
And then I know you do have a Saturday show as well.
I do have a Saturday show as well, and it is called Supercard of Honor.
And this is going to be going like partially head-to-head with the NXT TakeOver show.
Yeah, so good luck. I'm glad we don't have to choose this year what we want to go to. April 7th, Supercard of Honor 12, we have the following matches. We have the Briscoes defending the tag team titles against Jay Lethal and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Kenny King defends the TV championship against Silas Young in a last man standing. We have Tomohiro Ishii versus Punishment Martinez. The 6-man tag titles are on the line. Young Bucks and Flip Gordon versus SoCal Uncensored. Then we have the semifinals and the finals of the Women of Honor tournament. Kelly Klein versus Mayu Iwatani, and Sumi Sakai versus Tennille Dashwood.
Which both of those, I think, are supposed to be on the pre-show.
Yes.
And then the finals on the main card.
Yeah, the finals will be on the main card. The championship match, Dalton Castle defends against Marty Scurll. And the match that everybody's talking about, Kenny versus Cody.
Yeah.
That's on Saturday. What else is happening on Saturday?
11 a.m. we have the Pancakes and Pile Drivers show.
Being brought to you by Sami Callihan.
Yeah, a lot of fun matches on this one that I want to see. Eddie Kingston versus Juice Robinson. The Lucha Bros will take on Jack Evans and Teddy Hart. We've got ACH defending the AAW Championship against Trevor Lee.
I think you may have just set a tag team that I could hate forever.
Yeah. And because she was recently added into the match not that long ago, it's now a 3-way match between Jessica Havoc, Miko Satomura, and Kimber Lee.
Hell yeah.
Then around 3 p.m., we're going to have CZW's Welcome to the Combat Zone. We're going to have the Christs versus Bandito and Flamita. Potentially Will Ospreay versus Desmond Xavier. Jeff Cobb versus Joe Gacy. Janelope versus Joey Ryan and Laura James. And Ricky Shane Page defending the CZW title against Ethan Page. 4 p.m. Shimmer 100.
Hell yeah.
Clapping under the table for
Get
Shimmer.
it, ladies.
Where Nicole Savoy will be defending the championship against Mercedes Martinez. Shaza McKenzie defends the Heart of Shimmer championship against Tessa Blanchard. Leva Bates and Delilah Doom defend the tag titles against LuFisto and Hudson Envy.
Go LuFisto.
Cheerleader Melissa takes on Shotzi Blackheart. And that you can watch live.
Yes.
Via the www.live.com/shimmer, and it's only going to cost you $9.99. And then at 11 p.m., after everything else is already said and done, Tommy Dreamer is going to be picking up the scraps with House of Hardcore 40, which is going to be the end of the Powerbomb.tv. No, it's the Twitch TV.
Twitch.tv.
Twitch.tv championship. We're going to have Swoggle versus Alex Reynolds, and then Willie Mack versus Killer Cross. The winners of those two matches will then face Sami Callihan in a triple threat match to determine the champion. And then we're also going to have the Rock and Roll Express plus a mystery partner. Yeah. God knows who that could be, because everyone and their mothers are in town for this WrestleCon
weekend. It could
weekend.
literally be anybody.
Yeah. I want Rock and Roll Express and Daisuke Sekimoto.
Dick fucking Togo.
Hey, he could be a great Sasuke. They're going to take on the Squad, which apparently has a member named Randy now.
He's the new member of the Squad we didn't even know about.
Then a street fight between Tommy Dreamer and Billy Gunn versus the Killer Elite Squad.
Billy, Tommy,
what are you doing?
What the hell's wrong with you? Did either of you watch Wrestle Kingdom?
No, probably not.
Jesus.
Maybe, I don't know.
Anyway.
And then Sunday, Attack Pro Wrestling is ballsy. They're going head-to-head with WrestleMania. Sort of. With My Sacrifice 2 in Cardiff, Wales. But you know what? If you're over there and you can't be over here, it's good to be in Cardiff, Wales for the weekend because you can check that. And when you get the tickets, you're also invited to their WrestleMania viewing party on a huge 20-foot screen plus like over 30 high-def
30
TVs.
other high-definition televisions. So, you're set if you're going to My Sacrifice.
2.
That's a lot of wrestling. This video's probably long. We're done. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you if you stayed for the whole thing.
Yes. We'll see you next week with all of these results and so much more.
All the links, like we normally say, SoundCloud, the podcast,
all that stuff. Make sure you check all those websites for all of the information for all of these shows. But for now, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
And, it's WrestleMania season, so... Fuck Modus.